Was goody YTBC. It was good, fight fans. Boxing heads around the world. B Marsh with another boxing video. So I peeped the article on Boxing C24. And Kell Brook is talking about he wants to fight the winner of Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman this month coming up Saturday night at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? So Kell Brook is talking about he wants to fight the winner of that particular fight. You know what I mean? And he also mentioned he'd like to fight Danny Garcia. You check it. Well, Kell Brook, wasn't it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago? No later than 2 weeks ago, he was talking about after unifies, he wants to move up to junior middleweight, 154, right? You check it? And we all know why. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So, I don't mind him fighting those guys. Shit, it's better than the Kevin Biziers and Jojo Dans and these guys. You know what I mean? So, if Kell Brook does happen to get by Jessie Vargas in that unification fight they have, I think that first weekend of September, Jessie Vargas bringing the WBO belt to the table and Kell Brook bring his IBF strap. You know what I'm saying? Should be a good fight. If Kell Brook so does happen to get past Jessie Vargas, because I'm assuming he will be the favorite on the odds, I would like a fight with him and Sean Porter or Keith Thurman, the winner of that fight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how realistic that is, to be honest. Because more than likely, man, the IBF will enforce him to fight as mandatory. I said more than likely because it ain't guaranteed, you know what I mean? And it's mandatory, the number one contender for the IBF welterweight belt is Errol Spence, Errol the Truth Spence. Errol Spence been the mandatory number one contender for that belt, you know what I mean? And that's one particular guy the man Kell Brook doesn't want no problems with. He wants no parts of what's his name? Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a guy who could take Kell Brook out, you know what I mean? And I think Kell Brook knows that. Because deep down inside, Kell Brook is a guy, I'm assuming he knows himself. And he's been protected for all the years he's been a pro. He's only fought at one weight class, and that's welterweight. And for all the years he's been a pro at welterweight, he has only one name on his resume that's decent. Alright, and that's the man Sean Porter. You check it. Now, I give Kell Brook props for winning that fight. I actually picked him to win that fight before the fight started. I predicted Kell Brook would beat him. It was a hard decision. I was asking myself. I had to, weigh out the options and check out film and stuff like that. But I felt good with that pick, man, because a lot of people roll with Sean Porter, you know what I mean? Sean Porter's a cool guy, got no problems, no qualms with him. But I'm just not a fan in particular of his style of fighting. That's just me. Some people might like it. I personally don't, you know what I'm saying? And more times than many, I have picked against him in fights, you know what I mean? I give Sean Porter credit for that when he beat Devin Alexander in the fashion he did to get that belt he did, that IBF belt, because, you know what I'm saying? Because, he had previously looked shaky against the guy Julio Diaz. You check it. He even got a draw with Julio Diaz in a fight I thought he lost. But that's neither here nor there. I digress. Alright, so, Sean Porter versus Kell Brook. I could see that happening if Sean Porter gets by Kell Brook. Why? Because Sean Porter wants that rematch. He wants to avenge the only loss in his career. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would be a beautiful fight, you know what I mean? And I don't think Keith Thurman would fight Kell Brook simply because, Kell Brook is not a known guy in the United States. He's only fought, I think he's fought here a couple times, you know what I'm saying? You check it. But his biggest fight in the States was with Sean Porter at the StubHub, you know what I mean? But at that particular time, Kell Brook was the mandatory to Sean Porter. So that's why that fight happened. And you got to give Sean Porter credit for taking that, man. Kell Brook, Special K, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think Keith Thurman will fight the man because I think the IBF might enforce that that Kell Brook would have to fight his mandatory. And that would be Errol Spence if he happens to get through Jessie Vargas, you know what I mean? But that would be a good fight. Hopefully the IBF could make some kind of exemption, you know what I'm saying? If it's a unification fight, because, if Keith Thurman beats Sean Porter, he will retain his WBA strap. So Kell Brook will be bringing 2 other straps if he so happens to get through Jessie Vargas. And that would be a big unification fight for three belts. And Kell Brook said he'd like to have that fight in Brooklyn, New York, at the Barclays Center, you know what I mean? If that fight so happens to happen, man, I'm going to probably go up to BK and check it out, you know what I'm saying? But I say all that to say this. The man is talking about all these fights at 147. But he's been fighting the guys, the likes of Kevin Bizier, Jojo Dans, and you can even sprinkle in a little Frankie Gavin up in there ever since he's been a world title holder. You know what I'm saying? With the IBF belt. Now all of a sudden he's talking about all these fights, but just a week or 2 ago he was talking about moving up to 154 if he does so happen to unify. But here what? This is what I think was going to happen. If Kell Brook so happens to get through Jessie Vargas and unifies the belts, I see him dropping the IBF belt, vacating it. You know what I'm saying? Vacating it and just holding one belt, the WBO belt that he would have got from Jessie Vargas, you know what I'm saying? And he would do that, in my opinion, to avoid the man Errol Spence. Because truth be told, even if he does move up to 154, who can he really beat up there that's elite? Can he beat Laras? Can he beat the Andrades? Can he beat the Charlo brothers? Those are tough tasks, you know what I'm saying? Can he beat Cannoli? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys there at 154 he'd have to get through. Can he even get through an Austin Trout? These are questions he would have to ask himself. So, the time is now. He got to make moves and make decisions, you know what I'm saying? Because his whole career, he's only fought Sean Porter, you know what I mean? So, let me know your thoughts and comments in the comments section about this guy, Kell Brook, and him talking about trying to fight the Danny Garcias and Keith Thurmans and maybe Sean Porter rematch, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't talking about Errol Spence, Let me know about that, and let me know in the comments section what you think about him talking about these welterweights when just a week or 2 ago he was talking about moving up to 154. You know what I'm saying? The junior middleweight. What is Kell Brook up to, man? Time will tell, you know what I'm saying? His story is not finished, you know what I mean? But so far he's on the same rate to me as Gennady Golovkin. The only thing different is he has Sean Porter on his resume, and Sean Porter is a better name than anybody on Triple G's resume. You check it, and that's the truth. And this is B Marsh Boxing. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up, and please subscribe. Thanks for listening. Peace.